Xena acting like a pick-me right now. There's no way you would only fantasize about Sneako while he's out committing haram. I'll ask you this. Let me ask a question, ladies. Just raise a hand. Would you be okay with your guy stepping out from time to time and having sex with another girl if he provided for you, he was wealthy and attractive and checked all your boxes? Raise a hand.
C'est votre numéro de téléphone.
I will give it to you after.
Oh,
It's a French number, though.
Il n'y a pas de problème.
Damn, Sneako, come on, man. Like, go.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay.
So that's a contradiction
Are
right
you
there.
mad? Are you a little mad?
Oh, don't play with me, baby. Don't
You're
fucking
mad?
play with me.
Are you mad?
Don't play with
It's
me.
just a queen.
Take your medicine.
So speaking of hypocrisy,
All right, so I called out Sneako's girlfriend Xena on the Fresh and Fit podcast live, and I put in a super chat, and they read out the super chat, and I just wanted to spark some conversation because I think Sneako is a kind of someone similar to me, and we're close in age, and I feel like he really got indoctrinated by this red pill thing. He's going a little bit off the ropes, but he's having a little bit of a character arc, and he's kind of getting pulled back in a little bit to reality, where he started to question the red pill and how it has to do with the lack of fathership in the red pill space, that there's really no space for being a father and learning how to be a father. And so I really think there's a way to reach Sneako. This may have been a little bit aggressive to come after his girl like this, but I really had to get personal and try to attack the dynamic that Sneako kind of is envisioning himself in. And I really try to speak some sense into Xena as well, because I really don't think she believes in half of the stuff that she's saying. I'll give you guys a short little compilation of how she's been acting the entire podcast.
Talk about what they look like in the long term, because
Fat
you like
isn't
that
healthy
person
for you. If you love someone
but
really healthy,
if you
you
only
want
care
them to be
about,
their
if
best
you only care
self.
about what the person looks
It's
like,
not
that
about
maybe
looks,
you
babe.
don't
It's
really like
about
the
health.
person.
If you love someone, you want them to be their
He
best
looks
self.
healthy, and the person kind of gets lazy and get a few pounds and stuff. Okay, but it's not like that bad. Okay, do stuff. This is
That's
how
not
a
how it
couple work.
No, it's
This
not.
is how a couple works.
I mean,
For sure, you're gonna have to compromise in a relationship.
How
What's
many?
the difference if he's working or he's overseas working? Like if he's a high businessman, like he's not going
because
to
he's
be there
not
all the
overseas
time
working.
anyway.
And you guys can see she's snarky, rolling her eyes, completely combative with some decent points that everyday people kind of are accustomed to. And I really don't prescribe to the whole fact or notion of what the red pill has become and how they treat women and how some women are okay with it. I don't think Xena in the grand scheme of things is going to be okay with Sneako not living with him at all, even if they get married and they don't believe in Sneako doesn't believe in marriage because he's more red pill than he is Muslim for whatever reason. He's a fake Muslim. And I really don't believe that she'll be okay with not seeing him for 3 or 4 days at a time just so she can keep her attraction to him. And they'll raise kids, and she's gonna have to do everything, like raising the kids, and he's not gonna be there as a father, pretty much. And maybe he'll learn how to do that along the way. He still doesn't understand that dynamic yet. And I had to attack her a little bit of her ideology because she was really going after these females who don't think that a man should be leaving 3 or 4 days out of a time and have a complete house down the street because he doesn't want to live with his family because it distracts him from being a man and it softens him up and distracts him from getting money, stuff like that. You guys know a little bit. Hopefully that video is put up before I upload this one. But my father was a high value guy. He worked for the World Trade Center at some point. Then, after they went down, he had some more work. And then they digitalized stock markets and stuff like that. So he got laid off. And he went from being a very high value man where he bought a house. We moved from the Bronx to Pennsylvania. We lived in a nice community. And we lived in a huge freaking house. We went to nice schools and everything. And my dad thought that was okay and that was enough. That is him providing as a father. And he didn't think that fathership should be in any other role. He didn't think he should be there for his kids and be more intimate with us. He didn't, work on really getting to know us more. He really was in his room the majority of the time. We lived in a 4-story house where there's like a basement and an attic, and then there's the 2 floors. So he would be constantly in his room upstairs and wouldn't watch TV with us. Wouldn't do family activities with us. And he would even eat dinner with us. He was served his food, his own dish, by the way. Sometimes it was completely different from what was cooked for the rest of us. And he would eat upstairs and send one of his kids down to go take down the dish, and that was it. That was all we saw of him for the day. He wouldn't clean, he wouldn't cook, he wouldn't take care of the yards and nothing like that. So my dad was a high value man, and now that he is not as high value anymore, he got laid off from working the stocks and stuff like that, and being a broker. And he went down. He had no job, and he was miserable. He didn't know what he was if it wasn't for his job. He didn't know how to be a full-time dad. He didn't know how to be a stay-at-home dad. He didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So that whole dynamic completely went away. He had 5 kids. None of them really talked to him, and my mom left him. So that is the gist of it. So let's get on to this podcast.
Xena acting like a pick-me right now. There's no way
Hey,
you
being
would
a
only...
pick-me is a good thing. That's
Yeah,
not.
I think so too.
That's not a bad insult.
There's no way you would only fantasize about Sneako while he's out committing haram. Also, Sneako mentioned RP doesn't teach you to be a good dad. Don't you think part of being a good dad is being a good husband?
Yeah, it goes hand in hand, but I don't think marriage is worthwhile in the West anymore, so it's hard.
Look at Xena's face. She kind of acknowledges that what I said was right. Sneako kind of brushes off what I said before, how he did mention before, like I said, he's on this character arc, and he said that being red pill doesn't really teach you how to be a good dad. You don't really know how to establish fatherhood and be a good father. And I kind of pointed the question, and I had to be a little bit aggressive here. I had to put the women in their place, as Xena said herself.
The frame is his dominance and knowing to put you in your place, because
she wants to be put in her place by men. So I had to do that and call her a pick-me because it's very true, and Destiny points that out later on. So I had to, put the question out there. Don't you think being a good dad, don't you think part of being a good dad is being a good husband? And he's really going on this arc where he wants to be a good dad. He wants to be a good father for his legacy. And I'm trying to bridge the gap there where he has to treat his woman like a wife. Like he has to treat her like a wife. Red Pill really tries to harp on the fact that these modern day relationships now have women at the top and the men are submissive and stuff like that. I have never seen that case whatsoever. Do you have more aggressive, more masculine women sometimes where they kind of be firm in their role? Yeah, but at the end of the day, the guy is in charge, the man is in charge. I've never seen a household where it's not the man is the head and the woman is the neck. The woman is the support system. Now, a support system isn't a person to just be a cheerleader for you and say, you go build your business. I'll be here in the other house down the street, and I'll take care of the kids while you work on the business for the family. And when you're 50 years old, ready to retire, and you can finally get to know your kids, and we can actually have a relationship, then I'll wait for you. That is completely ass backwards from building a good relationship, and building a good life and building a good legacy. So I had to challenge that a little bit. And challenge that dynamic, because I don't think Sneako gets it. Xena doesn't get it. I guarantee you, Xena, maybe not. She thinks that Sneako thinks that she's a good wife for him. I don't know that. I don't think Sneako thinks that. I don't think Sneako wants to wife her up in any way. But I don't know if Xena really feels like she could be a quality wife to him, or if she is worthy of being a wife to him. So I don't know what she thinks about that.
It's really equate being a good husband to.
Here's the thing. I disagree wholeheartedly with this whole pick me thing. I think it's a tactic to shame women to get into relationships.
The red pill space wants pick me women because they want girls to validate them. That's the only thing they want in life is female validation, and to some extent male validation as well. But they just want to be validated. They just want to be heard, and it's so soft.
Man,
to be
because
girl bosses.
At the end of the day, if a girl wants a man to pick her, she's got to become a girl. That's basically a pick me. She's got to appease to what that guy wants.
That's so ass backwards.
This whole single, strong, independent woman narrative of you do what you want and the guy's going to be there at the end of the day, that's not good advice.
In Japan, all the girls are pick-me's. They want to be picked really badly. They want.
This is where Xena kind of goes off on Sneako. Well, disagrees with Sneako and puts her in her place as a nice submissive pick me girl would be
to be able to go and serve a man. It's not a bad thing over there. They're actually rewarded for
think-
that.
Yeah,
They
but in
actually
Japan,
are
they
more
have like some
career.
of the
That's
lowest
actually
birth
wrong.
rates
They're
in
more
the
career
world.
driven right now in Japan. Everybody's feminine, even the men. I've studied Japanese culture since I was 12. The women don't want to be wives.
No,
in
you
Japan
haven't.
In most cases, they're actually career. There's studies. They have the documentaries about it and all of that. They are career driven because they don't want to be.
Look at
stuck in
Sneako's
a-
face. Look at Sneako's face. He's like, you for real right now? You for real? Listen, my sister is in the Marines. She's stationed in Japan. She's lived there for 4 years. She loves the culture. She's loved Japanese culture since she was little, tiny little girl. So it was always her dream to be in Japan. The family dynamic is monogamous. It's very it's a two-parent household sort of thing, and the men are in charge. And yeah, there are feminine men over there in Japan. They're not as masculine, but they still make it work. That's proving to you enough that you don't need to be an aggressive hoorah man to have a monogamous they don't even believe in monogamy anyway, but to have a good two-parent marriage. You don't need to be some red pill polyamorous one-sided open relationship man to establish dominance and have a good legacy. It doesn't make any sense.
They have the documentaries about it and all of that. They are career driven because they don't want to be stuck.
It's
in the
getting
house
harder right now
anymore.
because it's getting more industrialized, but they do want to be wives.
Well, as far as I know, since 2012 and studying since then, they've wanted to be career driven, and the men are very feminine. That's why they're not.
Real quick question for the
Together,
lady. Let me
'cause
ask
the
this
men aren't
lady
masculine.
question to ladies. Is being a pick me bad in your take? Raise a hand if you.
They don't even know what a pick me is. They don't even know what it is. So they didn't raise their hand. But once Destiny kind of acknowledges, and you guys will
think
see.
it's bad being a pick me girl.
I still don't fully get what it means.
Can you define
to
it?
be
Okay,
like,
hold on.
you
What
need
a
to
pick me-
define what you're doing.
You- you wanna define it? Go
Pick
ahead.
me is a girl that throws other women under the bus when they approve of men. That's a pick me.
Oh,
Yeah.
then no.
That's
Yep.
not what they pick me.
No.
Yep. No. Look at Xena's face. She's like, it's not a pick me. That's what I've been doing. I'm not a pick me.
That's literally what pick me means.
No, it's not.
Pick me is
That's
a girl-
not literally what
pick
pick me
Pick me
means.
is a girl going like, oh yeah, other women are dumb bitches. I'm not like other women. Pick me. That's what a pick me
Yeah.
is.
No,
Oh,
man, no.
I thought
I
Pick me.
Look at Xena's face. She is flabbergasted. She's like, oh shit, I've been doing that the whole time.
I like a
So-
girl
so
like
Pick me literally means pick me.
No,
No, that's
so-
not how anybody
No.
uses pick me.
No,
a
so
pick me
what
is a
he's saying
woman
is-
that will conform her ideals subjected behind a man that she wants to be with. That's
Such a
okay.
politically
I
correct
understand what he's
sort
saying.
of
He's saying
vague
people
explanation.
well, for example, they don't want to hear it. They want to see action. So when you say it out loud, it's like, why are you saying it out loud? But if you do it action, that's what he's
Bro,
saying.
why does this
Some
guy
other
talk, bro? He
girls,
can't
even girls
talk.
that aren't pick me's do that. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. If a girl doesn't like another chick, that bitch is a hoe or whatever, and she'll bring her down or bring
Sure,
herself
I know
up.
we can use a different term, but when people say pick me, it's an insult. That's what they mean when they say pick
Yeah,
me.
but I'm saying, like, do the girls here think pick me is an insult?
I
But-
think of pick me in the same way that he described it, and that therefore I don't think whatever your preferences makes you bad. Like I said earlier, I think we all have different preferences, all have different things we want out of life, relationships, whatever. We're all like doing our own thing. So I don't think it's bad. I do think it's negative to shame other women for their preferences though, and I think that goes both
And look at
ways.
her smiling.
If you're
She's like,
more a
damn, I've been
traditional
doing that the
woman
whole time.
shaming a modern woman, if you're a modern woman shaming a traditional woman, I think that is bad.
Yes. Yes.
So you disagree with the shaming in general?
Yeah, I don't think that we should be shaming other women that we disagree with. I think
So check this out. This is where things go off the rails, and my super chat, my take, completely gets justified, completely gets put into perspective in real time. I knew Xena wouldn't be okay with the same dynamics that she's been preaching and agreeing upon the entire time. She's gonna get jealous. She's gonna get envious. Earlier in the podcast, she said she wouldn't do so. This is Sneako rizzing up a French girl, speaking French to her and everything, and he gets her number. And then look how Xena responds.
Qu'est-ce que c'est votre numéro de téléphone?
I will
Donne-moi,
give
s'il
it
vous
to you
plaît.
after.
Oh!
It's a French
Oh.
number though.
Il n'y a pas de problème.
Damn, Sneako, come on, man. Like,
Donne-moi.
go.
Oh,
French Riz.
Merci beaucoup.
Xena, and look,
man. Okay.
Ma chère.
look at this. First, this producer is so annoying, bro. He does not get girls. I know that for sure. But this whole thing with the men, now the men are like, oh damn, you risen her up. Look at Xena, bro. I feel so bad for this girl. She's not happy about it, and as much as she tries to play it off at the end, she was ready to throw hands with Sneako and him, but she didn't. She does not even look at Sneako the whole rest of the show. By the way, watch.
Bro.
Sneako, bro. You could've waited till the end of the show?
YouTube.com/Destiny, Instagram.com/Destiny, Rumble.com/Destiny.
Where can I find you, Sneako, other than her pants later?
Fresh. Rumble.com.
Look at Xena is not. Fresh made that comment, and Xena's like, bro, you for real right now?
Sneako, you already know what's up. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming.
She's fantasizing.
Watch.
Yeah, because in the fantasy,
Watch.
you've already consented. It's a fantasy.
Yeah, but
right?
again, that's what I'm trying to say.
It's
She's
like guys
about
will talk about like, oh, crazy pussy is the best, crazy girl's pussy is the best, and you feel that way until you wake up with a girl with a knife through her fucking throat, right? You fantasize about it, but there's a difference between fantasizing and actually doing it in real life.
Yeah,
But they-
right.
but they
No,
like it.
exactly.
You contradicted yourself. I think we just had a prime example.
Watch
She's saying
this.
what she wants, right? But she just gave him the number, and he's saying exactly everything she's saying she don't want.
Oh,
Okay, watch the eye blinking. All right, the constant eye blinking, the hand movements. She's very animated because she is clearly upset. And this girl, Frenchie, goes off on her.
Okay.
So that's a contradiction
Are
right
you
there.
mad?
Oh,
Are you a little mad?
Oh, don't play with me, baby. Don't
You're
fucking play
mad?
with me.
Are you mad?
Don't play
It's
with
just
me.
a question.
I was making an example. I don't
I
give
think
a
you're a little
fuck.
mad, but
The
I'm not
example
mad,
is,
though.
baby,
Nice
I'm
guys
not
don't win.
mad. You're pretty.
Thank you.
Suck
You
his dick and do
too.
it right. But what I'm saying is, you said you like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Not
Maybe
a guy
it's
that
really
wants to do
nice.
this
Maybe
and
it's
that,
nice.
right?
Maybe it's just fitting your phone.
Oh my god.
Don't be mad.
She just slammed the SMB7, bro. Like, this is like, that's a $400 mic, bro. Don't be.
Maybe it's nice. Maybe it's just fitting your phone.
She's really ready to throw hands right now.
Oh my god.
Don't be mad, girl.
Don't play with me though.
No, but I'm not. But you're becoming super aggressive.
Because
Check
I'm
your
making
man.
a
Don't fucking
point.
check me.
Check your man. Don't check me. Check your man.
Check your
What y'all
man.
do?
So speaking of hypocrisy, as you can see right here,
And now she's smiling because she doesn't want to. She wants to avoid. I don't know why he keeps panning this camera. Nobody wants to look at you, bro. My God.
very clearly.
And now she's like, "Oh, you want to kiss me? You want to kiss
You
me?"
can see the problems that result from this. But
Stop. Both of you. Stop. Okay.
And now she tried to end it because she's looking like an idiot, and she's pretty much being hypocritical to everything she was about, in the show. And Sneako is excited about it, la la la, talking about threesome and stuff like that, whatever. But she's not happy about it. There's no way she's that. And exactly what I said. Girls don't want that. Girls don't want that, but sometimes they're a product of everything around them. Sometimes guys, she lives in Miami. A lot of these high value guys have this thought process, and she really is not going to be able to find someone else that doesn't do that because she's just a product of her environment. Newsflash for any girl out there, that is not how relationships should be running. You should not be treated that way. And I'm not trying to simp for any girl. I'm definitely not. I was borderline red pill. I believe in a lot of the core values of red pill, but this is ridiculous. So, I would also like to have a conversation with Sneako. Like I said before earlier in the video, we are close in age. We both lived in New York, the New York area, and I think we had a little bit of different dynamics there. He had a father in the home, so he kind of has that fathership sort of thought process, and maybe he thinks that a high value man would exhibit that, but I lived with a high value father, and I know, not saying every high value man is going to do that and be that kind of way, but there are negative drawbacks to it. This isn't a perfect utopic sort of ideology, and so I would love to talk to Sneako about this. I would love to have a conversation with him because it's just that you have to think about it further. And I know he's on that character arc right now where he's thinking about these things. He called out Fresh and Fit in the podcast before. So I don't think all hope is lost for him. And not saying that he needs to completely convert from red pill, because like I said, there are bits and pieces of red pill that is good advice, but you don't have to go full send on this, man. It's just Myron and Fresh, they're long gone, bro. They're in their 30s. They're not going to have kids. They're not going to get married. I already know that. I'm not even trying to speak to them, but Sneako's a young man. He's 24 years old, and he still has his whole life ahead of him. He's still got 6 years until he's 30. Like, you could do plenty of that and developing yourself as a human and developing yourself as a man and learning how to be a father within that time if you really want to have a kid by 30 or maybe later than that. But I would say by 30 would be a good time. And another thing is that you kind of want to be as young as you can for your kids. When you get older and your kids are 30-something, you really don't want to be 70. So it's like, or 30, or you really don't want to be 60, so like, I don't or even 65 or whatever these red pill people are saying have kids when you're 40. Why would you want to do that? When your kid is 20, you're going to be 60. I mean, how can you even take care of teenagers when you're 50 something years old? It's just a hassle. But of course, these guys aren't going to be in their kids' lives anyway. So that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it's not too long for you guys. And if you guys want more content, leave a comment and what you want me to react to next. I'm probably going to do a live reaction of the Abba and Preach video on Just Pearly Things. It's like 28 minutes long, but man, I haven't watched it yet, but it's going to be fun. But that being said, see you guys later.